Heyo. Sorry, everybody. Can you hear us too? Do we have both sound and color? Yes. Okay. You got the old one. Now we're in the new one.
Why does it always do that to us?
You know, one of these days I'm going to get good at streaming technology, but it's not today.
I mean, you're pretty good.
Not really.
You're way better than me.
Hey, it's Holly's birthday.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Holly.
Hey, thanks,
Can you
man.
believe that you're working on your birthday?
This is fun. It doesn't feel like work.
Oh my gosh, Super Dave is in here. We gotta really do good.
Who just said I'm packing a Super Bowl? That's pretty good. I gotta get up on the chat.
Get up on chat.
Hi Kristen. Oh, thank you.
What's up, everyone? Look at all these sweet peeps.
Kristen, did you do the thing at church today? Did you do it? Was it all you? What do you call it? Do you call it a talk, a sermon, a homily?
Homily always was a weird word to me because it reminded me of hominy, like grits, and I grew up with a lot more grits than I did homilies.
I prefer hominy over homilies.
And I actually did. I think I thought for a long time that grits were a serious part of Catholic Mass.
They got wine. They got grits.
They got everything. Okay.
Wait. Oh, that was Pugsley.
All right, folks. Here we go. So, hey, welcome to you, most especially if you're here for the first time. This is a mega live stream. And we'll chit chat for a little bit, and then we'll improvise an episode based on some of your suggestions. We didn't have too many suggestions this week in the Patreon.
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
So maybe we could just get a few from the chat. If y'all have been wanting to ask Hallie and Gray any questions or whatnot. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, there's one. Is the church doing a Super Bowl themed sermon? That might be fun.
There was a big Super Bowl themed thing last year, right?
Mega?
Yeah, didn't Steve bring out football players on stage or something? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, maybe it's Hallie's birthday too. Wasn't there something like what's the thing? Is there something built already in the world where like Lance always forgets her birthday and just grabs her something that's clearly from Walgreens late at night or something?
Oh, what was yours last time, Kiri? Tell us.
Oh yeah, tell us. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're doing Palm Sunday, Kristen. That's right.
What kind of cake does Hallie want for her birthday?
Ooh.
I have so many daughters. Do any of them have the same birthday as her?
Well, if it's Hallie's birthday, she would want a white cake, right? Because she only wants white food. And also, Andrew, this is amazing. Like, I grew up always singing that song, Puff the Magic Dragon. Not many people know that. And I always wondered, what the hell is Hanali?
Hanali. Oh, yeah, Catholics do that too.
Puff the Magic.
Hanali, homily, hominy.
Hanali. So do you want to get a few suggestions, or do you want to try? We've never done where we just start with one and then just go and see. Or do you want a few?
Let's just get a couple to get us going, and then we'll do it.
Okay, maybe so. Hallie's
birthday.
What are the other ones? Super Bowl.
Doge, Department of Government Efficiency targeting churches. Oh, actually, I have an idea about that. Just put
Doge.
That's the stupid Elon Musk bullshit.
Husky musky.
How are y'all feeling about the state of the world? Good? If anybody's actually feeling good, let me know, because I gotta take what you're taking. Talk about why friends. Functional freeze all week. Yep.
Babe, yeah. Yeah.
Mega, where you can hallelujah, you can hawk twa. Gray should definitely be like, we've got to get a thing like hawk twa. I don't really know what that is, but we need like a catchy thing that goes viral like that.
Okay, so do we want to do that? So we're gonna do Hallie's birthday, Super Bowl, and Doge, and then just see if we can do it all
That's great.
based on that.
Bleak regarding the state of the world. Yes. Spent some time at a drag show. Yes.
Hell yeah, Andrew. Our friends went to a drag show last Sunday, and it was a Wicked themed
In Wales.
in Wales. It was a Wicked themed drag show, and our friends who are part of a retired women's swim group that they swim in the sea year round. All these old ladies got dressed up as witches, or what's Glenda? Is she a witch? What's she? Is she just a person?
Here's the thing. Yeah, Glenda's the White Witch, right? I've never seen Wicked. I've never even seen the musical, and I only know that one song.
You've never seen a musical?
Oh no, I've seen a musical, but I've never seen that musical, and I haven't seen the movie yet. Everybody says it's great.
Yeah, everyone says it's like, well, a friend of mine who is writing a book from her PhD dissertation about the dynamic of missionaries from the Christian church, like colonizing the minds of like other cultures or whatever. And she said that that's what she thought Wicked, the movie, was about, was kind of along those same lines. I don't know. But yeah, all of the Rother Bobber like swim club ladies all dressed up as white witches and or good witches and bad witches or whatever they're called, and went to a drag show. I don't know what can soothe the
mind of a nation.
The tyrannical fall of our country's democracy. What can like stave off the horror and the emotional like repercussions of that more than a drag show?
Yeah.
What could be more joyful and beautiful? Okay, Gray and CMB booked some weekend getaway to a beach resort full of strong homoerotic potential. Gray has some church-related obligations and no longer go. Okay. Oh, she's a good witch. She might be a princess. She's dressed like a princess. I don't know.
They can't get a refund or change dates, so Donovan Geo goes with Clay.
Oh God.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out that professional wrestling is just a drag show, and it was like, oh yeah, it really is. Okay, these are great. Hey, welcome in everyone. If you're just joining us, we're going to improvise for you.
What is just a drag show?
Professional wrestling.
Oh yeah.
That'd be funny if Twin Hills rented out their for a drag show because, or they thought it was a drag race, or like drag racing, like a car thing, and it ended up being a drag show.
That's good. Yeah, and they can't change it.
Yeah,
because Christians are fine with vehicles on a track, but not with.
Are you ready to do some birthday improv? Are you sad that you're having to do improv on your birthday after we stayed up really late last night? We went hard.
I know. We yeah. Are you feeling okay?
I don't know how much sense I'll make, but I think I'm feeling fine. Don't forget the Y fronts. Oh, don't worry. The Y fronts will be in there, John. If there's one thing that will be in there, it's the Y fronts. So do a couple of things for us. I don't know. We just made YouTube partner. That's very cool. I think that means there are some fun things that we can do here. I can put up polls now. I think you all can tip now. Don't know. Have no idea. But if you know, and if you engage with other people that are YouTube partners, do some of that stuff.
We will do drag for tips.
That's right. And yeah, make sure you sub and hit that thumbs up if you could. I know that helps the algorithm. Al Gore. Al Gore invented the algorithm.
That's true.
And Yeah, I think we're good to go. Holly, you want?
Oh, that thing you sent me last night totally fucked me up. The thing about the AI answering that woman's question about whether we invented it or it helped us discover it. That it already.
Do you want to paraphrase that for the chat?
Y'all, I think maybe AI made us and not the other way around.
Now,
algorithm.
Al Gore looks like AI Gore, and maybe he invented the algorithm.
Oh man.
So, yeah, this is gonna be super fun. So we'll take some of these.
I'm wearing my new T-shirt that my friend got me for my birthday.
Even though you don't eat eggs.
I hate eggs. I don't know what this T-shirt is, but my friend gave it to me, so I'm wearing it.
The Al Gore Rhythms would be a good band name. Maybe it can be my band name.
Are you any closer to naming your band?
Not yet. Y'all, I started a band.
And the licks are hot.
Hot licks.
Hot licks.
Do you want to hear a hot lick?
Yes. He's sharing it with us. Let's hear it.
I'll play 5 seconds of a hot lick.
It's kind of like that band Pup. Do you know that band? Kind of sounds like them. And I like the sound. How do you describe that sound? What kind of music is that?
Hot shit. Wait, let me see if I can. Here's the chorus.
It's Canadian Pup? Oh, wow. I didn't hear that.
It sounds terrible, just like playing it from a phone over the microphone.
Oh no, I took a bite because you were playing it.
Yeah, Canadian. I love Pup. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just do music now.
Can California become a province of Canada, please?
No. Canada's about to become the 51st state, according to our genius.
Are we about to occupy Canada?
Okay.
Greenland.
You good?
Yeah, are you
Halle
good?
B-Day, Super Bowl, Doge, CMB vacay, Y friends.
Did we anything else? Take the whole West Coast. I know. If Canada took Washington,
Oregon, California, and Baja,
we could just be like a leg coming down off of. We would be like the Florida part of Canada. If they took those 3 states, made us provinces, that's really all I want.
Yeah,
so that
definitely.
we can have healthcare.
That would be nice if we could have trades. Like, you take Alabama, we take Montreal. It would be great. Like we have a country trade every year, like the
That's true.
Professional.
If New England joined Canada and the West Coast joined Canada, it would be like Canada is your hand, and the American provinces are these things, and it would be like we're doing like rock and roll, but upside down. See, Canada would be upside down rock and roll. Let's definitely manifest that. I would so much rather be a Canadian than an American.
Manifest destiny. All right.
Okay, you recording?
I'm recording. We're ready to rock.
Okay.
Y'all can hear us okay? Okay.
I'm from Michigan. I'm from right here in Michigan. Bump, 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 bump.
Happy birthday. Got your bag?
I got your bag. Let's see how long we can go just on 4 suggestions. Okay, pouring some hot coffee. Thanks for having our back, yo. And thanks for being here. Ready?
Ready.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. We love introducing you to... I did it again.
What?
I want to do it different. Okay. Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
Christ is nice, and I'll say that thrice, Hallie. How are you?
Ooh,
Christ is nice, and I'll say that twice, Hallie. How are you?
Oh, I like
Christ is nice, and I'll say that one more time just to make 3. How are you?
Awesome. I liked the thrice, and I liked you doing it 3 times because it reminded me of the Trinity.
Oh, isn't that fun? What is
3 in
Hallie?
1.
I was really I noticed on my way into work today, my phone reminded me that it's a pretty special day around here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about, the Super Bowl or me?
Well, I wasn't talking about either one. What's you?
Oh, today's my birthday.
Oh, really? Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
What were
that's
you talking
I
about?
was talking about that. I was talking about that because that's part of why I'm so excited today.
Oh, really? No, what were you gonna say? What's going
I
on?
got you, well, Hallie, to start, happy birthday, and
Aw.
I got you this candle.
This is like the studio candle.
No, this is
This has been
this
in
is the can
here. I put this in here months ago. This is a
you put
Yankee candle.
oh, you know what? Maybe this is the wrong candle. Anyway, I'm getting you a candle, and happy birthday, Hallie. And it is the Super Bowl, which means that you are gonna have a super birthday. What are you doing for your birthday?
Well, I feel so special that the Super Bowl's on my birthday because I really like how it is, the culture of America. I mean, basically, the Super Bowl really defines us as a people. It shows what our culture celebrates, what we're
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And I think it's such a cool representation for the world to see, like, what we care about as Americans.
It's simulated war on a field in front of a bunch of people where you get to see, men just really going at it, bashing their brains out for our entertainment, all flanked by some of the best opportunities to buy things as represented by
Oh,
commercials.
the commercials are awesome.
And then usually there's some kind of show in the middle that doesn't honor God, and that's when we turn it off, don't we?
It is hard. I think a lot of times during the, halftime Super Bowl special, I worry about men nationwide because a lot of times it's, as scantily clad women, men are
It's
probably
sick, isn't it?
still just thinking about, Janet Jackson's, wardrobe malfunction, hoping for another
I
one.
know I was a bit too young for that.
Now they don't even have, wardrobe malfunctions. The wardrobes are just already showing everything
I know.
now, and I don't know how to help men keep their minds pure during the halftime. I mean, that's why I make a 7-layer dip that's more like a 7D layer dip,
Oh, what are
because I hope
what are
that
the
it's gonna
layers?
get well, I'll tell you what, I've got no less than a couple dozen layers of, sour cream because that's my favorite.
Different types of sour cream?
Yeah, I like a daisy sour cream the
Okay.
most, but I'll go for, whatever's at the Kroger or Jewel. And, I just, I feel like the sour cream is really the silent warrior of these type of dishes because do you know why it's there? It's there to cool your mouth off if there's other things that are hot and spicy.
Oh, I see.
And I do put hot and spicy stuff in my 7-layer dip.
Okay.
I put in, green onions
Okay.
chopped up. I think those are quite spicy.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of shredded cheese. I make my 7-layer dip in a big 20-gallon, tub, like storage tub that you get at Home Depot.
20 gallon?
Yeah, like a big, a 20-gallon, like storage bin.
Uh-huh.
I dump like a Costco size of, like a big, 20-pound tin of, refried beans, and I
Okay.
put refried beans along the bottom, and then I put layers of sour cream, layers of, shredded cheddar cheese, some different, Mexican style cheeses,
Okay.
then I put a whole layer of ground beef, and then I even put like a whole layer of, corn chips
Okay. Well, how
in the dip. And so even when you're dipping your chip in to get the dip out of the, 20-gallon, bin, I'm sorta hoping that what'll happen at halftime is men start basically bobbing for apples inside my big 7-layer dip bin, and their heads, fall down into the mush, because you know what's happening if a guy is neck deep in a 70 layer dip?
what?
He's not looking at breasts on the TV.
Well, that's a good point, Hallie. And that's why I don't really watch the Super Bowl for that very reason. I don't even know who's playing. I think that guy that is supposedly dating Taylor Swift. Yeah, right?
It's the Taylor Swift team and it's another team, I think.
Okay, yeah, but it just, I mean, first off, that sounds like a lot of dip. How do you get it to wherever you're going?
Well, I carry it the same way you do, when you're helping a friend move on moving day, carrying bins from the house to the U-Haul. I just pick it up. It has a big, heavy, plastic lid, and so I can take it anywhere. You can put it on the floor, which
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You keep it on the floor during the party?
I do. Once the men have really had their way with it, I put it on the floor so the kids can go to town. And, you want the kids in last because they're little petri
Well, they
dishes.
double dip, and I hate
It's
that. I
disgusting.
hate that.
And kids are just gross in general. Their hands and stuff, you can tell a kid all day long to wash your hands so you don't get sick. They're not going to. If you watch a kid long enough, you'll see them like wipe their nose and wipe it right through their hair with their
Ugh.
hand. That's what kids are like. They're carrying around norovirus and all sorts of stuff. And you can't get a kid to wash their hands to save your life. And they're just touching everything, putting their little infections all over the house on doorknobs and light switches.
Well, that it's much like teenagers, and as someone who deals with teenagers all the time, it's basically the same thing, but now you've got to add in the extra layer to that dip, which is, of course, STDs. And, that is, there are stories that I've heard of teens having parties, having dips like this. And the next thing you know, everyone's got herpes. And that's
Oh
because
my, it grieves the heart
yeah,
again.
maybe they're doing stuff, but also they're just, they're putting the herpes on their fingers. They're putting the fingers in the dip. They're putting the dip in their mouths. And then they're kissing with those mouths. And that's why I have said, to all my teens who come to Climax, you know what? Instead of Super Bowl this year, we're gonna have something that resembles a party, but maybe we don't have all these opportunities to fall into sin or to fall into dip, like you were saying, Hallie. So we're doing things like a prayer group. We're just going to do like a fun thing where I set up a whole field, and we do a football sort of metaphor where you can move down the field if you know certain Bible verses.
Awesome.
They seem to kind of hate that, but I don't care. I'm like, hey, it's football. We don't have football in Australia, so
Is that
yeah,
right?
we have.
Oh my gosh, what do you do for the Super Bowl then?
Well, we do have something on Super Bowl Sunday. But
Oh.
Super Bowl and or football in Australia is completely different. You well, it's strange because here we call it football, but you rarely use your feet.
Oh, that's true.
There, we use our feet all the time. That's how you advance the ball down the field. And then similar thing, uprights. You've got to throw it for a field goal, but you're still kicking an oblong ball down the field. So it just looks like a bunch of grown men kind of like confused because you just don't know where the ball's going to go. So that's kind of the Australian way that we do football.
Well, it is strange that we call it football when, in soccer, they're using their feet the whole time. It seems
Right.
like that we would call football, but in football, there's only 2 people out of like 100 who actually put their foot on it.
I know.
A
Isn't that
kicker
strange?
on this side and a kicker on that side.
Isn't language fun like that? And I actually don't when I say fun, I think confusing. Just change the name to, I think football should be called smash ball or run ball
Or just like,
or throw, smash, and run ball.
or just like, head cracking,
Yeah.
or like brain injury,
Right.
like fun with brain injuries.
Right. Or, I just think these things need better names. But yeah, anyway, Hallie, all that is to say, I'm so excited today because it is your birthday.
Oh,
And I'm so excited that not only that we can celebrate you, but that you also so I guess you've already got this candle, which I think what happened is I got you the same thing and I thought I had left it in here. So I'll go ahead and
oh,
take back the candle I got you. and I'll get you something different.
Okay, cool. Because I like this one. This is pumpkin spice and turmeric, Yankee Candle flavor.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, maybe get a different flavor in here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, pumpkin spice seems more fall, so maybe I'll get something more winter.
I got it in the fall, but these Yankee Candles last
They're the best.
forever.
Yankee Candles are the best.
Oh, and the smell is
the smell's amazing.
unparalleled. It is. You can't. Nothing smells as strong as a Yankee Candle.
I know for the winter months they've come out with some new flavors that smell really good. There's like a roasting chestnut and diesel flavor. Because you love that smell. Don't you love the smell of chestnuts, but also burning diesel or just from a generator or something? I think is so nice. And so there's ones like that. There's one that smells like frost. And there's one that smells like the antifreeze and frost kind of smell. So Yankee Candle really doing some interesting things.
Yeah, I have the cabin fever one.
What's that smell like?
It's a scent that basically the only way to describe it is a space in which there's been multiple dirty kids living for months on end without a window opened.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I like those more. I do like those more, manly scents. They're mandels, basically.
I love a mandel.
I love a mandel scented candle.
Well, I also do covet your prayers, my friend, because I've been challenged as I've been getting ready, making my 70 layer dip. My son Day has been giving me all sorts of grief because he's like, I don't know if we should be celebrating the Super Bowl, because in Leviticus, it clearly talks about how if a man touches a pigskin, he will be considered unclean and can't enter the kingdom of heaven.
Well, guess what? They don't make them out of pigs anymore. Dummy.
Oh, they don't?
No.
What's a football made out of?
I don't know, Hallie, but it's probably not a pig.
Well, my son Day has this knowledge of the Bible that he has twisted and used against me. He's weaponized it, if I may say. He says I'm weaponizing it to support things like getting rid of DEI and supporting ICE agents. He says that's me weaponizing the gospel. But you know what? There's both like Old Testament and New Testament verses, supporting, people being happy about being enslaved and stuff. And, I don't know. I feel like those Bible verses, I don't weaponize. I just want to say I don't weaponize the Bible. Day does.
Yeah.
And Day's trying to, tell me that any of these guys, if they touch this pigskin, it's not biblical.
I'm a bit sick of Day, and we need to have him back on so I can set him straight. Because I'm always able to meet him on his level and then sort of dominate him with pure biblical fact and logic. And that is, Hallie, unfortunately, they're in that critical age where they are always like, but what if, but I don't think, but actually, and you have to be like, hey, guy, I'm just coming at you with the straight facts, and I'm not trying to manipulate them. I'm just giving you the God's honest truth. Speaking of ICE, I was preaching this, a few weeks ago, on Leviticus 19:33 through 34.
Awesome.
Which is one of my favorites, which is, you shall not wrong a stranger who resides in your land, etc., etc.
Oh, is that talking about immigration?
Well, that's the thing. And wouldn't you know it, Hallie, ICE showed up during my message. A few ICE agents showed up.
What?
And I said, guys, come on in. Because
well, they love churches lately.
Well, they love church. And Steve has actually allowed the ICE trucks to park out, just out by K with the ICE trucks that plow, the plows.
Actual de-icing trucks.
Right. So we've
got the ICE trucks with the de-icing.
I know, which thinks you'd cancel them out, but it doesn't.
No. But we're making good rent on charging the government ICE for parking.
They're
so
parking
that's helping
all
the
their
kingdom.
trucks here.
Yep.
And the ICE agents came in And I said, guys, you can search anything you want here. It's all open. It's open season, is what I said.
Did they hear your accent and know that you might be from a foreign land?
They're not worried about that. And so they came in. They actually they were just coming in to sort of use the facilities and get some. It's cold out there, so get some coffee and stuff from the food court. But it was interesting because I did have a few climax teens just go running, and I was like, okay, what's that about? Hallie, it turns out that a few of my teens have parents that might be in the country illegally. And I just said, hey, you got to take care of that. You got to figure that out because these guys are here and they're gonna, they might get the boot. And one of them is saying, well, you just preached on Leviticus when, you shall not wrong a stranger who resides in your land. And I said, well, are we wronging them or are we helping them by sending them to the land that they are from? Do you know what I mean? Because they're a stranger in our land. But we could also look at it as, hey, we just got you a free plane ticket to your land.
Yeah.
So really what we're saying is you don't have to be a stranger here anymore. Why don't you go back to where where everybody looks and speaks and talks like you. You won't be a stranger anymore. And then that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Except you. I don't want you to go back to where people look and talk and sound like you.
Oh no, I'll never go back to Australia, and I have special dispensation. Steve obviously went to bat for me years ago. And I do have a pamphlet and several citizenship modules that I completed that shows that basically what I bring to the table. I have a very special visor that says my spiritual guidance in the way that I do it from Australia with my education. Obviously, I have a master's degree. Well, I have a module in spiritual life and teen development. And with that full package, I'm the type of person that they want here in this country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like you come from one of the good countries that don't send us murderers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I tell you what, hearing you say our country really warms my heart, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
because you really identify as us and our and
absolutely, Hallie. I mean, when I left Australia, I basically shed it like the skin of a snake. And I hate to use that imagery, but yes, Australia is where I'm from, but this is where I belong. And church is about belonging.
And it's not where a lot of other people belong. It's just got to be. Well, what is your stance as a man of God? What is your stance on immigration?
I don't have a stance, Hallie. I just have the Bible, and I let ICE do what they need. I'm going to continue to preach God's word. I'm going to continue to shout out Christ every way I can. But when it comes to borders and taxes and all this stuff, I'm just saying, hey, if you want to come here, you have to do it right. And you have to do it like I did, which is through a lot of hard work, through God, living up to God's promise and plan in your life, and completing a master's degree module that I, that took me a lot of work and money to complete.
Wow. Well, I need to use that language to help me talk to my kids because they've been giving me so much grief. They see the images of kids being ripped away from their families and dads crying as they're like begging to stay like united with their family.
One big problem there is a dad who's crying. Let's get down to the big problem there, which is, hey, if your dad's crying all the time, maybe he wasn't the provider that your family needs.
Yep. Yep. But
But
my
yeah, the
kids
ice trucks. Oh yeah,
they
sorry.
get all upset when they see the ICE agents ripping families apart and stuff, and they say, "Mom, how in the world is this biblical? You know, we know the words of Jesus, Matthew 25. If you did it to the least of these, you did it to me. So is there a chance, Mom, that we're like ripping Jesus away from, you know, I don't know, his job in the fields or whatever, and throwing him into the back of a car and letting him bang around in the back out there?" But I'm like, I think you're reading it wrong, because first of all, these people have done it illegally. They didn't get a note from Steve like you did.
Right, exactly. I got a note from Steve.
And
I can be here. I got a note from Steve.
and so I tell my kids, like, you can't look at these images and get all upset because they've been clipped and modified.
Everything's
Who
deep
knows?
fake
They could
now.
all be deep fakes
It's all
too.
deep fake now. And we were also having trouble with ice in a totally different way, which was people thought, the plow trucks they thought that we had actually bought trucks that were putting ice down in the parking lot and had trucks to take the ice away. But we were just saying, no, that's immigration. But it threw our congregation into a big bit of confusion there last Sunday, because they were like, why are we putting more ice down? We need to get the ice away. And we're going, no, we've still got the plows. This is the good ice, not the bad ice.
Yep.
Or the black ice.
And all I told my kids was, I said, you know what? Don't get so upset about what's happening with who gets shoved onto which side of what border or whatnot, because guess what? This world isn't even our home.
It's not.
You know what? I do identify as a proud American, but I'm not going to claim that this is my home, because heaven is my home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The Bible, in Revelation promised us that stuff was going to get weird before Jesus came back. So
That's
I see all
exactly
of
right.
this strife as just signs that he's coming back. And so I took things into my own hands, all of the tension in my home with my kids thinking critically and whatnot. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make myself my own birthday cake. And
Oh, that's
I said,
fun.
if I make it for myself and I eat it, then it'll be exactly what I want. Because,
So what kind of birthday cake did you make, Hallie? And was it in a giant bucket or tub or whatever you do you dip in?
well, that's funny that you should ask, because I do a bucket cake.
Oh, you.
If you think about like a bucket, just a regular size bucket, that's a perfect size for a cake. If you make it inside of there, a self-rising cake, it's the perfect size for a cake. And
How do you cook it in the bucket?
oh,
Oh, it's a metal bucket.
yeah, that you can put it that yeah, and I make it over a fire.
Oh.
Mhm. I make it outside.
Is that what you did this year for your birthday cake?
Yeah.
A bucket cake over a fire?
Yeah. And so all I wanted was a white cake with white frosting, white sprinkles.
So
And
you put it all in a bucket and you hang it over a fire?
yes. And then, you make s'mores over a fire. It's the exact same thing.
That's right.
People forget that you can dessert over a fire as well as do meat over a fire.
And so what does the bucket hang from over the fire?
Well, I put a grate over the fire, and then I just set the bucket right on the grate.
I don't think there's an image that is more fun than you outside with a bucket over a grate in the middle of winter on Super Bowl weekend, cooking a cake in a bucket. I think that is just really fun.
I know. I kept inviting people to come out. I was like, this is fun. It's an activity. It's heated so much from the bottom that you get a crunchy, kind of like more well done bottom of the cake. But then because I put a lid on the top of the metal bucket, the heat is trapped inside, that it
Okay.
bakes to perfection.
Okay.
Then I bring it in, I dump it upside down. It falls out onto my island, my kitchen island. And then I let it cool there, throw the bucket out in the snow
Why?
for it to cool
Oh.
off. And then I do like a vanilla buttercream and cream cheese frosting. And then I do little white beaded sprinkles
Okay.
and little white what's that other shape called? Those cylindrical ones that are tiny, but like the size of a size and
BB.
shape of a no, like a Good and Plenty. How do you say what that shape is?
I don't know, Hallie. I've never had candy.
Those shaped sprinkles, but all white candles, and then I start slicing up the cake to turn it into a layer cake, and that's why it's good that it's so long and cylindrical, because then I can make a lot of layers, and then I put frosting and whipped cream in between every single one of the layers. And then I kind of like I take, like, a flour sifter,
Okay.
but I put sugar in it, and I sift the sugar over the top with the sprinkles and the frosting and everything. So I have white sugar, white sprinkles, white dots, white frosting, and white cake. It's so good.
That sounds like a cake Ice would like. What did Lance get you for your birthday, Hallie?
I think he forgot that last year he was coming home late on my birthday, realized what day it was. Honestly, Day probably texted him and said, "Dad, do you remember it's Mom's birthday?" Because Day's kind of sensitive. So Day'll remember.
What did Day get you?
Oh, it was really thoughtful, actually. He got me this little magnetic clip to put on my walk through the Bible so I know exactly where I am each day.
Oh, great.
And he also got me a little book light because I love it so much. He also, because he knows I love my morning showers where I always do my prayer list. So he got me a bunch of like big loofahs and back scrubbers and like little scrubby hand mitts and all kinds of like bath salts and bubble baths and all these things because he knows I love baths. And it was very sweet because I do like baths a lot.
And what did your daughters get you?
Oh my gosh. My daughters got me they took me to Sephora and they said, "Mom, we're going to get you a meeting with a consultant and she's going to help work with your makeup and we're going to find some liquid makeup that doesn't settle into fine lines and something that'll even out your complexion, find a lip shade that you like." Cuz my daughters know that I really like to present
A face full of makeup.
yes. I've always said to my girls, if the barn needs painting, paint it. So, so they
And
took
the
me
barn in this context is your face.
and they paid for they got me all this stuff at Sephora, liquid makeup, these contouring blushes and highlighters and brushes. And then they took me to Cheesecake Factory
Oh.
because I absolutely love it. Um, and yeah, and then they also got me a gift certificate to Don Protini's, which they know I
yeah.
really like.
I can't go there anymore, but go on.
And then my daughter's best friend Brandy, she went to Italy.
Oh, which daughter?
Oh, my daughter who just put a sticker on the car that says the goddess is awoke and magic is afoot.
What? What does that even mean?
Exactly.
Who's the goddess?
I had to text Dick Epps right away, my handyman, and say, my daughter put a sticker on my Lexus that says the goddess is alive and magic is afoot. He said, first thing out of his mouth was, what does that mean?
Well, right. And whose foot?
Thank you
Could be
very much.
yours because you've had that foot pain.
I did. I have one toe growing into another toe. I'm going to have to get them taken apart. But any hoodles, the kids were real thoughtful, did so much nice stuff for me. It felt like they really thought about things that I like and whatnot. But any hoodles, my husband, Lance Labont, he was on the way home. He stayed out really late. I don't know what he had going on. And I could tell that he just stopped at Walgreen. We have a Walgreen right at the entrance to our subdivision.
Yeah.
And I think he stopped right by the Walgreens on the way home. And he forgot that that's what he got me last year. But he got me some Suave body wash for the shower. And I could tell it was from Walgreen. He couldn't even bother to like go to Bath and Body Work at the mall.
Right.
And I said, Lance, this is what you got me, last year, the exact same. And I think I still have it. It was such a massive thing that I'm still using it. Now I got another one just in a different flavor. But and then my book club got me a catfish cookbook, which I really thought was extremely thoughtful.
And are you going to read it in book club?
That could be. Next time it's my turn to pick a book, I should just say that, because that would really honor the gift that she gave me.
Seems like your daughter needs that catfish cookbook. Anyway, Hallie, I think that's great, and I do just want you to remember that maybe, yes, maybe Lance did forget your birthday, but isn't every day kind of feeling like your birthday when you have a husband who is providing at the level that Lance is? Because he's doing quite well. I mean, you drive a nice car, you live in a nice house, you live in a very nice subdivision. And, shout out to Lance. He's really doing a good job as whatever I can never remember his job, but
He's in importing, exporting.
right.
And but I read an article the other day about how a woman's husband was pretending to go to work every day for a year, but he'd been let go a long time ago.
Oh no.
And I asked Lance that. I said, "You still do have the job, right?" Because, I realized that all of our health care and benefits come from my Twin Hills job. All of our 401k stuff. Well, it's a nonprofit. Uh, uh, Twin Hills is a nonprofit, so we don't have 401ks. We have 403bs, but it's the same thing. But it's better because we're nonprofit.
And it gets matched double. If you put $1 in, you get $2 more back or added.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Steve fought hard with the different providers and got us such good packages. And so I realized that my salary is kind of providing for the important stuff, like the car payments, the car insurance, the house insurance, the mortgage, all the health care for the kids. And I actually had the thought the other day, well, maybe I should get in my Lexus after he jumps in his Tahoe and follow him and see where he's going during the day.
Why would you do that, Hallie? That
Just to make sure he's still got the job.
Of course he has the job.
Oh,
I just don't, I don't like that. Why don't you, if he says he's got the job, he's got the job. And you don't need to go be playing Carmen Sandiego and following him around.
It's a great point. This is just, don't you see how the devil works with the weakness of women, just preying on our every insecurity? That's how he got Eve to bite the apple.
Every single day. Well, I had a bit of an issue this week that Dick Epps helped with, actually. And for those who don't know, Dick Epps is the handyman. And it was, it was a bit tough, Hallie, because I'm not sure if I've mentioned him before, but my friend Clay Mason Bannerman and I were going to take a trip to Mazatlan.
Mazatlan?
Yes.
Mazatlan?
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan?
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan?
I don't really know, Hallie, because I didn't get to go.
What?
There was a bit of an issue because we were going to go to Mazatlan, and
where's that, honestly?
Where is it?
Yeah.
I think it's in Arizona.
Oh, cool. I honestly thought for a second you were going to go to Mexico, which I don't think you should do because of the drug cartels. They'll kill you.
Yeah, no. No, Mazatlan is, it's basically kind of an adult themed theme park.
Oh, cool. I love that. I love going to theme parks as a grown-up.
Yeah. And I think it might be owned by Mazda or something. But so we're going to go to Mazatlan and, all ready to go for just a fun kind of bro trip where we could just, bro down.
Oh, without popsicles?
No, well, it was the thing. Popsicles, of course. Clay was like, we've got to bring popsicles. And I was like, okay. So we're bringing popsicles. Then I had, then this whole thing happened where somehow, basically what happened, Hallie, is Clay and I had a conversation that I would say didn't go well.
But you're communicating. Look how cool that is.
Well, we kind of stopped communicating because, over this popsicles thing, I was just like, I basically was like, I don't want him to come. And Clay was like, he's coming. And I was like, this is a bro trip. And he was like, it's a bro trip where I also bring this
My grandchild,
his son. So I just said, you know what, Clay, I'm not going to Mazatland. If Popsicles is coming, he's just like, I can't really feel like I'm on vacation if there's a kid there.
But what you do in that case is, and sorry to interrupt you, because
please
you're a
don't
man.
Yeah.
But I have learned as a parent of a bunch of kids, my daughters and my son Day, is that when you want your kids to leave you alone on vacation, you let them bring their friends. So then they just kick it with each other. So maybe you should invite Polycules.
Well, that's
and Polycules will keep Popsicles occupied.
That's exactly what happened, Hallie. Unbeknownst to me, Clay said, well, if you're not going, I'll find someone who can go. And the next thing I know, a stupid neighbor, Donovan Gio, is going with his son or his nephew, Polycules. And I'm just like, this is, you guys go have your fun at Mazatland. It sounds dumb anyway. I'm not sure even what it was supposed to be. I definitely would have liked to have a bit of sun, but I have enough sun, in Jesus, the Son of God.
Great point.
And so I just said, you guys go, do whatever. I'll be here when you get back. And I don't want to see a single picture. I don't want to hear a single story. And if you do, if you do talk about it, I'm just gonna walk out of the room. Of course, I've got Popsicles FaceTiming me at like the middle of the night, from the inside of a water tube or something, just having the time of his life. But I was like, you know what? I didn't sign up to be a babysitter, Hallie.
That's true. You certainly did not. I mean, I feel like you have the patience of a saint.
I know.
Over there. Here you are currently a stranger in a strange land. Well, America isn't necessarily strange. It's like it's God's chosen land, frankly. So it's, the best, American exceptionalism. But anyway, here you are just wanting to bro down in Mazda land.
Yeah.
And I mean, kids ruin everything. Isn't that just the way?
It is. And I mean, as much as I, like Jesus, who said, bring the children and gather them around me, sometimes I'm like, hey, I am not Jesus. I need a break from all these kids. And
Jesus saying, let the children come to me is just classic from a child-free man.
Absolutely. And so I just said, have fun. But, then of course they got back late last night. And, first thing I hear, I'm sitting there trying to do some stretching. And I hear, vacation mode activated. And it's freaking Donovan Gio coming in the back door. They're wearing just the most outrageous sombreros. They've got a bunch of, plastic cups for some reason that they brought back with them. Donovan Gio, of course, wore his Y fronts the entire time there. They said his legs were absolutely destroyed by sunburn, and just too.
He went to Mazatland in Y fronts.
Yes. Oh no, he does. That's the only thing he wears, Hallie. He had a Hawaiian shirt on.
How does he get on the plane? They don't let you get on a plane in Y fronts.
He says it's his religion or something. I don't know. And it's just so and it, you know what? It serves him right. He's walking around on 2 charred hot dogs that were his legs because they're just absolute blistered to the max. And I thought, at least I can be a little bit happy about this because I don't think that is going to heal well.
And now his popsicle's running around the house saying, "Vacation mode activated."
Why do you do it in that voice?
Oh, I was just trying to do the catchphrase.
Oh, no. It's like vacation mode activated.
Vacation mode activated.
Yeah, Hallie. Anyway,
I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried about Donovan Geo and CMB going on vacay together.
I know. I'm like, hey, maybe get a new best friend. And that's what I told him. I just said, maybe get a new best friend. Because I've got an offer in on a new Condor, Hallie, and I'm hoping it's accepted. It's
Awesome.
the first Condor that I've found that has 3 bedrooms, 5 baths, which is what I've been looking for. This one's actually 5.5 baths. And so hopefully my offer is accepted and I'll be moving in to that at the end of the month. And I just said, Clay, you can deal with all this chaos yourself.
Wow. I gotta say, I don't think Clay should be spending time alone with Donovan Geo.
Why?
Because they're gonna become friends, and he's
Oh, I
not gonna be
know.
the annoying neighbor anymore. He's gonna be part of the community, and you only want the right people in your community.
Well, I am not afraid. I mean, I will have to say this, Hallie. I have made friends with some of the ICE agents who have come by, and I just said, hey, do you ever run kind of background checks on anyone just to make sure they're absolutely from this country?
Yeah, Donovan Geo could be from other places. There are people hiding in our midst that are not US citizens, but born in naturally, like Elon Musk. You would never know. You would think he was a total American. He's not. And so Donovan Geo could be maybe from some other place.
Well, I say that. I'm like, well, Elon Musk made supercars. Donovan Geo just inherited the Geo fortune from making a kind of a crap car. Excuse my language. But I just, I asked some of my ICE friends to, maybe just check this guy out. They said, we absolutely do that. We absolutely do that. So hopefully I'll be getting a little bit of background on Donovan Geo just so that I have it if I ever need it.
These ICE agents, they'll do it. They love it. They love their work. They get to travel. They get to see beautiful church buildings. They get to go inside people's homes.
Oh,
and
hospitals.
Yeah, see, they really get to, get down into Americana. They love it.
It's great.
They'll probably check on anyone.
And that's what I just said. Hey guys, help me out here because I'm dealing with a neighbor issue. And they said, neighbor issues is basically our job.
Wow.
We find the neighbors that aren't helpful and we get them out of here.
Real quick, I wanted to ask you a question because I wasn't sure what this was, and I thought you would be the only one who would tell me honestly.
Okay, that's probably right.
Because my daughter's been
Oh, which daughter?
The one who buys cryptocurrency. She recently told me, "Ma, I've worked all the way up to having a whole Bitcoin." And I said, "You have a whole Bitcoin?" And she said, "Yeah, it took me 5 years, but now I own an entire Bitcoin." And I said, "That sounds ridiculous. You're not making any sense. Get out of here."
Well, she should swap it for Godcoin, which is a way more interesting project that I also am a part of.
Well, I wanted to ask you because she talks about Doge, and I'm like, is this one of those sick things that I don't know what Doge is? It sounds like, I'm like, is that like a Dodge, where these like couples are doing weird acrobatic dancing around each other's bodies
Oh,
and stuff? Is that what
that's
Doge
the thing you
is?
saw on the cruise last year that you and Clay had to walk out of?
Yeah. That me and Clay?
Oh, sorry. I meant to say Lance.
Oh,
I've also walked out of a performance once that I was at with Clay. Sorry.
is this when you and Clay were down in Miami Beach?
No, this is when we went to go see Celine Dion in Las Vegas, and it was honestly not good. She just sounded bad.
Oh, really?
Her voice, she had lost. I don't know what happened.
She lost her voice.
Yeah, her voice sounded bad, and I was like, "Well, we paid $350 for these tickets. We're not going to sit here and listen to someone sing bad."
The one thing about her that I appreciate though is that she doesn't shake her rump.
Well, she doesn't really have one.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably look. We're right on the hour.
What? I guess we got Doge in there.
How much is that Doge in the window? Thanks everybody for tuning in. That was an episode of Mega, and we appreciate you so well.
His charred hot dog legs was pretty good.
Hope we got all your suggestions in there. This will come out in a couple weeks. We've got a really great episode out today. Seth Morris is on the podcast.
I like this one.
And so go listen to today's episode. Wish Holly a happy birthday. And hey, thanks for catching the end. And if you would like to help us out, go ahead and sub to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. And always let somebody know about Mega. We've got big changes coming in February. If you're a Patreon member, congrats. You're going to get shifted free of charge and seamlessly over to Supercast. But we've got a lot of really exciting stuff happening to give a better product for supporters. So I hope you'll stick with us. I hope you'll check that out. That's all going to be coming on down here in the next week or so. And of course, y'all are the beating hearts of the podcast. So we really appreciate you, and especially for joining us on a Sunday. Happy birthday, Holly.
Thanks for all those birthday wishes. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm somebody who normally gets like really morose on my birthday, but I'm keeping my spirits up this year.
You're keeping it light, keeping it moving.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with one of these in a couple weeks. We're traveling and whatnot. If anybody's in Colorado, we'll be at the Telluride Comedy Fest next weekend. Come check us out. And then yeah, we'll be back. But great episodes in the tank right now, so go listen to those and keep an eye out for the big Supercast announcement. It's going to be so cool. Here's a poem. Oh, Holly gets a poem.
Oh, yes.
Holly cooking Hallie cooking a cake in a bucket over a fire in like a parka in like half melted snow is the saddest image you've ever conveyed on Mega. With none of your family there. Cooking a white cake in a bucket over the snow in a smoldering fire.
But it sounds like Hallie actually has such good kids and such a bad partner.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is working. I don't think he's really going to work.
That would be funny if you find out Lance hasn't been working, but the way you justified it is he was just so ashamed. He just couldn't tell me.
That's the problem with like men have to be strong, so he had to keep acting strong every day.
And it's like, how long has he not had the job? 2 years. For 2 years he's just like been going to a bar or something.
Where's
he
going in his Tahoe every day?
I know.
Wait, what's the poem? Will you move that little window so I can read?
Here's a poem to go. The male hare wildly kicks its feet. The female hare has shifty eyes, but when a pair of hares run side by side, who can distinguish whether and female? Poem of Mulan.
Ooh. I'm gonna put that in my. I like that.
I like it. Thanks, Moto, and thanks to y'all, and have a great Super Bowl Sunday. You can tell our feelings about the Super Bowl. We were such dorks. And we'll talk to you and see y'all soon.
Ooh, good suggestions. Lance is a crypto boy, and Lance is going to those daytime movies theaters with adult movies. What if Lance is like in the throes of some kind of
we have a really fun sorry to interrupt.
No, go on.
We have a really fun episode coming up about a porn addiction.
Is that today?
No, that's next week, I think. But there's some great ones coming down.
Oh yeah, so this porn addiction one is really fun. It's with what's his name, whose voice sounds like he's from the Crash Test Dummies. Yeah. There was a boy who didn't go to school because of Wayne.
Dan Lippert. Okay, y'all. Very, very fun, and we'll see you on the flip. Thanks for being
Thanks.
here.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Don't let the Sunday sads get the best of you. Dive headfirst into a 70-layer dip, y'all.
Stick your head in a bucket of sour cream. Bye, everyone.
Bye. That sounds good, actually. I'd eat that.